I'm Jake Bleacher.
And I'm Tyler Lochte.
And we're here with Calvert Hall versus Gilman at Kelly Field. I believe it's the 5th game of the MIAA for the Cardinals, with a 2-1-1 record here. Playing a non-conference team, leading the other side of the table, Gilman, with a 4-1 record. Starting off the year pretty strong, the Gilman Greyhounds. Calvert Hall on a 2 in-conference game winning streak, and out of conference, that makes it 3. And a win here would keep them near the top of their table in their division as the non-conference games roll along. Start off here with Gilman ball, Johnny Mellinkin, Andy Chris with the head ball. That gets to Hayden Lim. Foul called quick on Ben Bender. A noticeable thing right away is on the back line, James Garfink, captain of the team, not on the starting lineup right away. We'll see what happens throughout the game. Replacing him is Nick Long at right center back, Gabe Gleekin, the freshman, at left back, Liam Gilman, who's making the run outs right away, out wide right to get the ball here and start a counterattack, is at right back, and the always solid Andy Christ, who is at left center back today. Nick Long plays good. Out to Gilman. Finds Ben Bender, who's strong tackle by Johnny, who gets to the outside. Double team. Now Bender comes in strong and wins it right back. Well done. Ooh. Well played by Johnny to get a corner off of Ben Bender. First corner kick for the Greyhounds. 1 minute and 15 seconds into this one. Thank God the 6'9" forward for Gilman's not in for this one, as that height advantage would just simply be unfair. So Gilman applying early pressure here. Gabe drops back to Andy Christ. He plays one long, trying to find Luke. Didn't connect with the pass, but he at least switched fields, gives the back line a chance to get a couple yards higher. Nick Long sets the line around the 35-yard line as Gilman regains possession in the middle of the field. Well done by Mike to win it back, and an even better ball to DP. DP holds his run. Strong tackle by number 15 on the Gilman Greyhounds. So we're thrown for Gilman. Luke Ferry starting at right wing. You can always tell where he is on the field. The biggest brace I've ever seen. That's going to be a handball, looks like, on Hayden Lim. Calvert Hall maybe has 1 or 2 successful passes this first couple minutes. Make that 3 with a good ball with Ben Bender in space. He's able to beat his man, take space up. Sean's holding his run. Flag stays down. Sean's in on an opportunity here. Sean Barrett goal right away. First 3 minutes.
That one definitely against the run and play. Calvert Hall really trying to defend there, and they get 1 run through, 1 shot, 1 chance, and 1 goal for the Hall. They take the lead.
And that's exactly what Calvert Hall should do, not just in this game, for the rest of the season. As Ben Bender splits the defense in the back line. Great run by Sean, holding his run. Staying on sides there. And just like that, even better finish, taking pose, bottom right corner.
And last time out here against Epiquinneman, Calvert Hall really dominated in the first half and had nothing to show for it before scoring early in the second half. Quite the opposite here.
Calvert Hall has had slow starts in their last couple games. First goal in the first 10 minutes of their season. And hopefully in the locker room there's a talk of not letting up here. When you score, you don't let up. When you concede, you don't let up. No matter what the score is, just keep playing the same game you started with. So it's an excellent start in the first 3 minutes by Sean Barwick and Ben Bender. Even better ball off the back line to just split a couple midfielders to find Benny in like 20 yards of space after he beats his man. And you give Benny that space, it's just not going to work out. So Andrew Levis with the goal kick. Nick Long about to get it here. And there it is. Andrew Levis likes playing the short, likes keeping it. Ben Bender, the strict 8 player, goes back to center back, gets it, fills in for Andy Christ, who gets the ball now. Gabe Gleekin making a run up the side, see if they can find him. He has space. They find him. Gabe Gleekin, 3 runs crashing. Ben Bender late to come in, first touch ball, not exactly where he wanted it. Composed defensively from the goalie, who drives a missile with his foot. Noticed that on the game film recently. As Bionic Leg wins it. Finds Gilman on the wing. A little too powerful for DP, was not on the same page. Gilman was rested against Appoquinimec, and he gets to start here right back. Same front 3 as yesterday, or Friday, excuse me.
Another long goal kick there by Maddox. Caverdall got to look out for that one because that can create a lot for Gilman.
Yeah, the kid has a foot. 15, 20 yards behind the half field line every time he gets it at his feet. As Nick finds Sean Barwick, who's able to use his body to keep it. Nick, or Gilman, gets it on the right back spot. Drops Ben Alexander, the lookalike. Sorry, that's not Ben Alexander. It was a misunderstanding. And a strong tackle by the winger. Good one touch, give and go here if he can get it. He cannot. Andy Chris, the birthday boy tomorrow. No longer a kid. Cannot wait for that shout-out post on Instagram as he gets the ball back here. Good ball into Bender. He's able to take his man and find a couple extra seconds of space as gets it Gleekin back to the birthday boy. Nick backpedals to get it. Kind of stagnant in the heart of the field right now. But light press from Gilman gives that time to heavy touch. He still maintains it, finds Benny, works out for the best. Shawnee on the wing. Shawnee in space, he may take this for himself here. He's got Luke in the box. Smart play to keep it on the ground, just a little in front of Paisan. Paisan hasn't netted a goal this season. He had the opportunity against Curley that went in. Looking at the film, many people would disagree with the offsides call there, but did not go on the score sheet, and Luke Ferries is still empty on the season. Michael Gisriel, strong in the air as he wins it again. Maybe even again. Lack of communication there, though. But Gilman, Nick Long covering for Gilman, able to do so well. As Gilman wins a throw. After the first couple of minutes, it's been a lot of Calvert Hall. Quick goal is almost exactly what they needed. Not only for this game, but for a morale standpoint of this team right now. And it's, of course, always good to see Sean Barwick, who had a rather slow start for his standards, coming alive in the last 3 games to his form that everyone loves to see. Gabe Gleekin misses the header there, finds Andy, back to Gabe, to Benny. Unusual bad touch by Benny, but he still wins the throw. And a quick switch of the fields. Has Hayden Lim in the midfield. He's not going to get it to him. He's going to play conservative to Nick Long. A lot of possession through the back for Calvert Hall. Not a bad start. Able to penetrate when they have the opportunity, such as the goal-scoring opportunity. That's an excellent ball from the new adult birthday boy. Just a little too far. Hayden Lim, a couple yards of space, able to switch. DP isolated at the top of the box. Gets back to Hayden. Could not exactly hear he was calling for that. Someone wanted to one more from Hayden Lim. Wasn't able to get it to him. Can't even count on my fingers anymore how many times Nick Long has had an interception in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's off to a great start here. Hayden calls for the 1-2. Successful. Oh. Just a wee bit off for David Peters, who normally has the pace to make little stretch balls work out for the best. Hayden Lim with a strong impact right away. It's Mike Gisriel. Forces a tackle that Nick Long, surprise, intercepts. Now Johnny's on it for a little regroup of the game. The freshman left back Chase Spurrier, an absolute threat to Calvert Hall, as he's young but he has the size, and a strong tackle by Johnny. Doesn't seem to be afraid of the moment as he has Nick Long back. Gilman has Nick Long back with plenty of time. Very slow tempo to the first couple minutes of this one. I'll be interested to see when the game opens up through fatigue. Sean gets up the sidelines once again. Pison! Well done by Gabe Leakin.
Since the goal, this Gilman defense really has strengthened, and Calvert Hall is just not finding ways through.
I think the way through is going to be through Sean Barrock on the left side. He's found, I think, 3 opportunities to get a cross off. All 3 of them have been on the ground and hard, where exactly where they need to be, just fractions of a hair off. So the goalie's going to come up 30 yards to do his bomb. That's going to be over the back line and draw a corner. That was something that was known about this goalie before the game. That useless corner kick given up like that would be an opportunity if he's playing them from 30 out, that he can even, if he has an opportunity like that, guard the 18th, because it's that far. An outswinging ball, I think, by Johnny on his right foot. Swung by the striker. One again by Benny, still in the box. Eventually finds its way out with a Gilman clearance. Gilman isolated. Does well with his body. Again does well with his body. To lead with a goal kick. For a smaller guy, he's not afraid to use the muscle he's got. Exhibit A right there. Levis, back to Nick Long. Don't think Levis has put one in the air yet. It's not a bad thing for Calvert Hall, as they're able to maintain some solid possession early on. High pressure from Gilman. It's only one person though, so it's not much for Calvert Hall to handle. Andy to Gilman to Mike to Sean to Gabe. Good connection to get the the freshman defender up the field. And that's a way to break a defense and just keep shifting. Sean comes into the midfield for a second and breaks up space. The right back follows. Gabe has a run up our left side, their right. Nifty move by Gabe. Cannot connect on the pass though. And another clearance from Gilman. Sean Barwick, slow to get up initially, hasn't even broke a stride yet after his goal in the 3rd minute. Be unfortunate to see him go down early. So it looks like Riley Organt, the sophomore, is about to sub in for him. Let's see if Sean will start to get active again when the ball comes his side. As he does, he checks into the midfield. Well done by Andy Christ yet again to pierce into the Gilman line. Long balls tracked well by the goalie here. Let's switch possessions.
And we've seen how deep this Calvert Hall team is so far this year, but kind of surprised they have not made a sub yet, 15 minutes in.
I know Coach Rich Sincan will make some moves in about 4 or 5 minutes, as the 20-minute mark is normally his look to the sideline. Senior James Garfink coming in here. Unfortunate for James Garfink's Siri. The English man on his phone decided to speak up in a lecture. Has him in 108 for a bit. But it's good to see him warming up, getting ready to go today.
I think that Nick Long has done a very good job in his absence, made a lot of great interceptions.
Probably one of the best Nick Long has played this season, at least the first couple minutes. I'll be interested to see if they decide to take him out here after the performance he's put up early on. Front post corner to the freshman, Chase Spurrier, cleared out easily. Nick Long gets it. He's going to have time. He's going to give it back to Paisan. Paisan's pass is deflected. Good connections in the attacking third. Nick Long, another interception. Gilman has plenty of space, not many options though. He makes it himself. What a ball. What a thought by Liam Gilman, who didn't have much team support in that situation. People were in the box, didn't have the cross. 3 people go for that header. Gabe Leaking comes down with it. And that's going to be a clearance. And 23 minutes to go. 3 substitutions come on. James Garfink in the midfield here. Started midfield last year. And moved his way back to center back. David Peters and Sean Barwick find their way out and replace him for Peyton Medore and Riley Organt. Or was that Sean Barwick? Sean Barwick is still on the field. So it turns out his injury wasn't as severe as it initially seemed. And he's going to get it here a little too long for Bender, unless Bender makes something happen here.
Nice reach there by Max. That could have been dangerous. Oregon was right there.
That could have been a tap in for Oregon if the goalie didn't stay composed. But he does so, and the ball's at his feet, and as told not to do so, Calvert Hall gives him space to play a long ball. But Michael Gisreal cleans it up. And James Garfink's first touch to the midfield this season, or a backwards pass into pressure to Liam Gilman. Johnny Mellencamp does well against Andy Chris, but it's cleaned up. with help defenders. Sean Barber gets a flick on. Does he have the pace? He does not. With another help defender. Whistle blown for a foul. Not sure what that's on. 4 set-piece goals in Calvert Hall's last outing. Hopefully we can clean that up on the defensive end, allowing those chances, and continue on the offensive end to capitalize when given. This one's from about 40 out. We don't have markers on our field, so it's just an eye. That's a good ball in, though.
Just past Stuzen, who's been the target man so far for Gilman, hasn't really done much.
Now it's Gilman's turn for substitutions. Continued possession in the back line from Calvert Hall leads to space. He's out Riley Organt. Instead he uses Medor, another heavy ball. A little frustrating there. I know Gilman wants that one back. Peyton Medor, nice run and good switch between Peyton and Riley, the winger and striker, to swap them up, and both of them had space, honestly. Maybe if he was to Peyton into Riley in the box. It's the most effective way. But nonetheless, Benny to James. James plays backwards and outside and switches the field with Andy. Good ball by Nick. Oh, that's some pretty soccer here from Calvert Hall. It would be gorgeous if they put this one away. I think that was 4 or 5 one-touch passes on the ground, firm movement off the ball that allowed Ben Bender to have a shot at Riley Organ on the wing. Jesus, that guy is an absolute cannon. A lot of space for Calvert Hall early on. Slow-tempoed game in the first quarter of it, first 20. James Garfink takes a touch, plays positive here, but it doesn't connect. Andy Christ, easy interception for him. I think Patrick Reeves on the sideline right now saying, maybe Andy did play center field. I'm not sure. As that ball sees Buddy Hill. Goucher. Sorry. Gleeking on it. Not many options except Sean. Kind of lazy defending by Gilman to give that easy of an opportunity. Calvert Hall can't capitalize. Peyton Medor, the hustler, wins it defensively. I swear that guy will find more tackles against opposing teams' back lines than anyone I've ever seen. Be awesome to see him translate offensively with them tackles throughout the season. As Ben and Barber connect once again, Sean goes down right outside the box. Ref does not budge with that one. Miscommunication from Calvert Hall. Andy, good track down. Absolutely no numbers from Gilman. Not even a concern for Nick Long, who has a yawn, takes a nap before playing this one out wide in the box. More one-touches from Calvert Hall in the midfield, as Bender decides to do it himself eventually. More one-touches. Benny finds space. Can he get a shot off? Oh, no way. Get out of here. Oh.
Ben Bender still just creating so much offense for the Hall. What a danger he is to opposing back lines.
I don't know what type of cereal our boys ate this morning, but they better eat it again, because this is the best soccer for this season for sure.
They've made Gilman really put a lot of numbers back, one man up the entire game.
Sean Barwick's first corner of the season. Pison's not in to take it. He normally puts one at the 6 for Ben Bender's head. Now it's Sean Barwick's turn to do so. Ooh. Not sure it was on the end of that one. It looks like Michael Gisriel is close to putting that away. 2 more adjustments. Chris Link comes in for Gabe Gleekin. Moves Andy to center or left back. Jay Scrabble on the starting lineup for Calvert after this sub. I think four new positions just occurred. Steve Rush checks in for the first time. I think that's Sean Barwick that just came off. So, completely new look all of a sudden. Chris Link did well in the midfield against Appoquinimec. It's good to see him back in the game early on here. As a all-senior midfield of Michael Gisriel, Chris Link, and Ben Bender would be a disturbance. Once again, Gilman does well. Wow, that was weird. That was super weird. But we'll take possession. Pinball on the out-of-bounds line. James Garfink, solid 6 seconds at center mid before he drops back to his OG spot. As I do like how Calvert switching the field like crazy. It's one Gilman striker is trying to put all this pressure on. It's just not working whatsoever. It's a walk in the park right now for the back line. Andy Chris now at left back, was at center back 6 seconds ago. Making runs up the field. Stephen Welsh. If Stephen Welsh gets a clean look, especially in 7v7s, you might as well just put the ball in midfield and put it on the scoreboard without even shooting. It's pointless. Let's see how far this ball goes. Right over midfield, right to Ben Bender. No contest from Gilman. Peyton Medore lets that one ride out. Has Nick Long again. I'd be surprised if he doesn't use him. He doesn't, because I was blinded and didn't see Chris Link wide open too. Chris Link gets it. Looking for an option. Can't find it. Oh, that's a good flick on. Stephen Welsh. He'd be my best kicker ever in fantasy football right now. 6 points for him. Started Bagley instead. He was hurt. 0 points, unfortunately. Leads me to 0-3 this season. Seems like a quicker half. Not much going on, and other than the first 3 minutes, only 10 minutes left, 13. But other than that initial opportunity, it seems like time just kind of melted by. I don't think there's been a clean shot on goal since. Certainly not for Gilman, as Andrew Levis has been relaxing, catching some sun in the sticks right now. Always the occasional run back for water when he's bored. I'll be interested to see how much he has left after the first half. But a heavy touch from Gilman. Still no real posing threat. I believe that's Will Damsgaard. Congratulations to Will Damsgaard on his recent ACT score. As he takes Liam Giblin off at the right back. Expect to see him up the field a lot. Just like Andy Chris was a couple minutes ago. And once again, surprise, Andrew Levis plays it on the ground. James Garfink plays laterally to Nick Long. As Nick Long looks for all the marbles with Peyton Medore. Almost has a secondary ball. Chris Link's height allows him to get his head on that one. Another non-threatening ball, cleaned up well by Chris Link, defended well by Will Damsgaard initially. I just cannot see what Gilman's trying to do here by running a striker like it's a 5K marathon, something like that. Expecting him to make a play against 5 defenders. But sure, Calverdall's not complaining about it at all. Pinball off 2 Calverdall heads. Leads to another Gilman throw in the second third of the field. A weird floaty ball. Andy Chris just flicks out of bounds and gets back. As he wins his header quite easily. Has Peyton Medore to hold it up. Plays backwards here, I'm not sure. Puts Andy in a weird situation that he bails him out of. James Garfink tries to dribble the field. Plays great ball to number 15. Another great ball to a center back. As Nick Long cleans up an interception. Tries to squeeze it into Riley Organt. Can't fit it. He's got Levis back. And, Levis is excited to see the ball. That hasn't happened much today. Excellent 5-yard pass. And now they're able to switch fields. All day. Lovely triangle there from Calvert Hall. Ben Bender enjoys that. In geometry class, Ben Bender actually got 100 on the triangle quiz. He knows every single one because he's so used to running around the field trying to create one. Great ball, well done off the chest, Riley Organt. Ooh, well done by, Will Damsgaard could get the assist here, or the goal. Said he's going to hold it up and reset play. Paymador on the wing. Threatening ball, no one challenges. Riley Organt. I don't think he meant to, but that had the coolest side spin probably of all time. Will Andrews enters the game for the first time today. I think he's going to take off Michael Gisriel. Sean Barwick's going to come in for Riley Organt, who had a pretty good shift right there. There's the missile. Won by the newly subbed Sean Barwick. No contest. Doesn't even seem like the Gilman midfield has a will to be in this game. There's been absolutely no pressure when there needs to be. And Benny is just toying with him right now. And then rifles one to switch the field. Will Damsgaard gets up, creates a nice little room for... Oh, that's a good ball. Sean knew it's coming. But what goes unsaid there, Will Damsgaard makes a 40-yard run. Doesn't get it, but he draws 2 defenders with him and lets Steve turn there. Almost a capitalized pass to Sean Barwick. Link is all year on the field until he finds Quill, but doesn't connect. Finds Benny in space. There to Sean now. Peyton Medore and 4 runners. Ben Bender,
As that one goes out, a big shout out to alum Franco Frisone watching from Reykjavik, Iceland. Quite far. Committed fan.
Many think the country of Iceland's the one with ice. That is a common misconception, as that's the one very green, unlike Greenland, with a lot of ice.
Big soccer country over there. Not many people. What a run they had in the Euro Cup, knocking out England a couple years ago.
Will Damsgaard on the back post. Can he get there? He keeps it in play. Can he find James? He does. Strong tackle by Garfink to at least get a throw there. Disorganized on both ends. There's a weird throw in. Chris Lane flicks it to Benny, flicks it. Wasn't really looking there for the foul. I was looking at Chris Lane, so I didn't see it. As Calvert Hall backs up 30, 40, 50 yards to make sure this one doesn't go over their heads. Boom. Shorter than average. Won by Ben Bender. Gilman shoots it at their own center back, but is able to bail it out. A one-timer. Then Nick Long reads. And then flicks on to Lane. Strong tackle by James. No way. That's... God, it was on. That goalie is going to be conscious of getting anywhere in front of the 6 now. If you recall, Ben Bender's attempted banger from 60 yards against Appoquinimec pulled the trigger at the start of half from the Cardinal. So a little off wide. But Coach Jeff and the rest of the staff said keep shooting, and he just did.
Finally a chance here for Stews, and then yet again he just runs it right out.
So maybe a long goal kick coming. Let's see if Levis can match the missile of the Gilman goalie. And no one can match the missile of the Gilman goalie.
I think that one, though, was more dangerous than any of his, because Calvert Hall actually won possession offensively this time instead of winning it off Gilman's.
I'll have tall and physical midfield in for Calvert Hall with Chris Link and Ben Bender have the height on the team. Will Andrews, maybe half their size, but heart of a lion in there. He's not afraid to get stuck in on any challenge. There's a lot of spaces on the one-time switches here. Chase Spurrier forces a throw in instead of a threatening cross. Will Damsgaard, opportunity for the one-time cross. Gets through the first offender, even the second, but still no Calvert Hall runners. Steve finds Link. Link with space. Can he just crack it? Why not? Heavy touch. Still Calvert Hall possession. In the final minutes of the first half. Willie Andrews holds it up well, finds Andy Chris back. As he still doesn't go down, but he gets the foul anyway. Andy Chris wants to take this one. Psych. It's going to be James Garfink, who had the free kick opportunity, set up a Riley Oregon back post header into Ben Bender for the goal. Kind of the same position. Riley Oregon isn't in. The big head of his to put it on the backside. Still good ball. Chris Link contests for it. Sean Barwick's turn, but the height of the goalie has no chance for Sean Barwick's vertical. Will Damsgaard calls for it, wins the header, but it's in Gilman's possession now. As the center fielder, Andy Chris, wins that one in the air. 2 one-touches in a row. Chipped over the freshman. Steve can get a chip off. They'll win a corner in the final minute here. Most likely the final attack of the half for both teams. Sean Bark's going to go at this one again after a successful first ball, an outswinger. James Garfink and Nick Long relaxing with no pressure on them. It's another near post. Preventing the counter, he does well. Johnny only wins a throw in his own defensive third, so successful defensive stand from Calvert Hall as he takes 30 yards up the field to have this throw in. Steve gets it back. A lot of dribbling from Steve, but he finds a way. Probably had an opportunity to get rid of that one quicker. Instead, it leaves to a Calvert or Gilman late possession. Puts it in the third, but once again, no real threat. It's Chris Link-Chacks back in the midfield. 12 seconds left. It's most likely going to be halftime as Ben Bender just relaxes on the ball with 4. Still no pressure. And that's going to be the first half. A slow one after the goal. Not a lot of chances on either side. I believe 1, maybe 2 shots on goal, max. But well possessed from Calvert Hall. Keeping Andrew Levis out of the game, which probably a little bored back there, but that's the goal, to make him irrelevant.
And not really much at all offensively for Gilman. As you said, the 4-1, they top of the table. They should be threatening here. Would be a big away win for them, but just nothing offensively.
Yeah, it's strange. Expected a lot more from Gilman's forwards to cause havoc for Calvert Hall's back line, who's been kind of shaky or having moments of just lackadaisical efforts. They haven't had a clean sheet in a while, which they'd love to see today against a top team in the conference. But couldn't get much better from the back line today, as no real threats to them so far. So we'll take a quick break and come back for the second half.
And we're back here for the second half. Team's ready a little bit earlier than usual, trying to get this game back going.
It's the fastest paced thing from the game all day is the halftime. As this one's just been the ball rolling back and forth between both back lines.
Looks like that halftime was even a little bit too fast for the refs, who haven't had any offsides calls so far.
So slight changes in the Calvert Hall starting lineup as the front three stays the same. So does the midfield, but Andy Christ, who did I mention's 18th birthday is tomorrow, is going to take a break. Will Damsgaard's going to start in his spot, along with Liam Giblin's going to continue to sit down here as the single man pressure from Gilman starts up yet again. Calvert Hall still keeps it in the back. James Garfink takes the first positive touches of the half, but can't connect. Gisriel finds Nick Long, still hasn't cracked the half field line yet. Right until now. But it's going to do a Gilman goal kick. Maybe a little too far, nothing to worry about for Will Damsgaard. He takes a nice hike for the ball. So Nick Long has time. Gonna play up to David Peters, who doesn't normally have the height, but it's not gonna be a head ball here. He's gonna crank one. Ooh. Over the bar, over the goalie. Could have put a little salsa with the chip there. Had an opportunity for that. But he tried to put some pace on it.
And that Gilman bench still standing up. They didn't sit down once the whole first half.
A lot of motivators on that squad. Tempo doesn't seem like it, but it's still a one-goal game in a big MIAA matchup. The energy just seems, from both teams, kind of low. Hard challenge. Probably would have been a corner anyway if he didn't do it, so not much difference. Maybe 3 yards. Calvert Hall alumni Tom Christ here in the box. Older brother of Andy Christ, supporting the team. It's always great to hear his side of the story down on the touchline in big games. Always love hearing his voice for a little extra motivation. It's going to be another corner kick. An outswinger. Ooh, miscalculated header from Ben Bender. Obviously, he didn't play baseball. And an opportunity here. The chip is no match for Andrew Levis.
He's been perfect today with his saves, 1 for 1.
Thanks to Nick Long. In practice, Andrew Levis is always ready for the chip. Nick Long is one of the favorite things for him to do is give Levis a little hard time with those. As Paisan gets his first touch of the half. James Garfink cuts it off. But Johnny has an opportunity. Well struck, just a little above the bar. Gilman's starting to get a little momentum here. Calvert Hall seems a little lackadaisical at the first 5 minutes of this half, but then again, they've seemed a little weak in the first 3 minutes of the first half, but they got the goal early to switch tides. Once again, another out of bounds. I wonder how many out of bounds there's been stoppages of plays in this game. It seems like more than half. So Nick Long has it all by himself here. James Garfink probably should be a couple yards downfield to help out, but luckily Gilman doesn't put any pressure on him.
And you would think that Gilman would notice the trend of passing the ball to Nick Long after every single goal kick by now, but it seems like they're just content to sit back.
Johnny, the midfielder for Gilman, starting to put an impact on early in the second half, as most of their opportunities ran through him recently. And Mike Israel wins the throw to end the threat from Gilman. Calverall trying to run a counter. Pretty savage tackle right there. Stop the play without the foul. But a foul eventually comes once numbers are back. Gabe Gleekin may play short here, or Hayden Lim may play short here. He should play short. He's got Bennon wide open, but he doesn't. So Mike Israel could probably hit the baseball field from here. He's going to float one in the box. A little too much power from him as Luke decides to generously chase the ball. Luke's just that type of guy. Always doing something for other people, such as getting the ball.
And we can see the cannon from Maddox yet again here.
It's been all Calvert Hall in the air, in the midfield.
I think Israel has headed back every single goal kick, at least 90% of them.
So Calvert Hall could have capitalized there on a backline turnover, but a heavy touch from Sean Borick as clears one to James Garfink, who uses his body for another goal kick. Looks like they're going to play long on this one. May have listened to Locht's advice of pushing up against Nick Long. That's a good flick on dirty PS space on the wing. Slips one in. Barrow could get a second. He's going to be selfless here.
Still not cleared. It's wreck stuff there. The ball just bouncing around everybody's foot as it goes out for a throw.
As it's good seeing Tom. Another contested ball from Mike Israel, cleaned up by James Garfink. Heavy touch though. Another strange touch. It's been kind of sloppy on both sides early. Benny finds himself in space. A lot of one touches. Benny can run off from here. Sean's going to take it for himself. A good shot. Still nothing really threatening on goal since the goal for either team. Goalie's been fairly comfortable other than the one slightly over the bar. Looks surprised. Mike Israel wins another head ball. Benny running through the midfield, takes some pace. He's got a shot. He's going to take it. Just like that, shot on goal number 1 for the half for the Cardinals. On Benny's right foot. They may call it a weak foot. They are pretty wrong about that one. The punt goes from 18 to 18. It's like a 70-yard bomb. First substitutions of the half go to Gilman. 2 adjustments, 1 to the back line. I believe 1 to the winger. A lot of contact. Gabe goes down hard, rolls a couple times, but doesn't get the call. Yet it's still cleared. Sean with a good bicycle click. Held up well. Gabe Gleekin gets a snip on that one to stop the attack. DP finds space. Great touch here. Will Damsgaard is going to get up. He's going to get it. And that leads to a corner kick. Well done all around from everyone involved in that play for the Cardinals. So, Luke Ferris is going to take his second corner. He's going to attempt to find Will Damsgaard short. Gilman covers that up well, sending 2. That's going to be a back post bomb. Will Damsgaard's going to clean this one up. Find Luke out wide, back to Nick. Or actually Will. Will's going to play a long one in. Looking for Benders. Missed it by a fraction of a second. But Benny was going to try to one-time it back. Just wins another throw in. He's going to get it one more time. One touch, another try, or one touch. Pace of play is well for the Cardinals in the midfield. As Benny tries to get around him to continue to attack, but a foul gets called for, I don't even know what the foul is on, reach. It's kind of a basketball term. It's 18-18 here with the goal kick. Good communication from Nick Long and Levis to lead to Will Damsgaard off the quick throw. And Mike Israel is able to switch fields. Little dummy move. Maybe that'll go in House of Highlights if that would have worked out.
Looks like Chris coming on. It would have been great to see this with his brother here, but not
Yeah, it's a
meant to
bummer.
be.
Bummer he took some minutes off at the wrong time, but the freshman takes a quick breather for Andy Chris at left back. Right on it with the throw. What a dime. Andy Chris with throw-ins. Looks like it's Daniel Jones. Accurate. But he gets it back. Good tackle. Quick throw. Sean can't beat him right away, but gets the cross off. Good weep in. Finds Ben Bender. Trips on it. Can't get the ball back into the 6. Nick Long, good talk here to drop it off to Levis. All senior back line right now for Calvert Hall. A lot of upperclassmen getting minutes today. It's good to see as it seems to be working out well.
Let me know when your son's in the evening.
It's quite the opposite of the theme of the first couple games, where it was all about all of the underclassmen getting a lot of minutes, all 6 freshmen playing in almost every game, and the sophomores providing goals with Organ and Peters.
Peters in today. He hasn't scored since Loyola. A bit of surprise. It's been a couple games for him. But they've stepped up. Other players have stepped up in his role, such as Sean Barwick, Ben Bender getting into a groove recently. Luke Ferris at the attacking third gets a deflection for a Second corner of the day. Hayden Lim looks like he's going to take this one. Gilman brings everyone back on their corners. No threat of a set piece there. They're going to play a short one. Hayden off the one-time back post. He's going to find Will Damsgaard if he can test for it. Not exactly where Will wanted that one to go. It was a good thought. Well executed by Hayden Lim and Sean Barwick to get the opportunity there. So a rare Gilman win off a goal kick leads to it's got to be 5 points in fantasy maybe. You got some power behind that one.
I think that on these goal kicks, Gilman should just mark Israel because the last 5 seem to just go right to him.
So goal kick to goal kick, stoppage of play to stoppage of play. Mike can test for it, draws a double team, which allows Luke to find some space. Sean Barwick finds it. Oh, he's got a one-time. He's going to use it. Hayden Lim. Ooh, good look. Goal kick to goal kick to goal kick. With 2 new Gilman additions. Sprinting onto the field with his penny on. And still sprinting all the way to the right wing. Then he flicks his penny on and gets in position for the 3rd consecutive goal kick. Hayden Lim at the top of the 18, gonna float one into Barwick. Barwick one time to DP. Mike, ooh, that could have been highlight reel worthy. Crank from 40 out.
Got to give it to this Gilman defense. While Cavernell's taking a lot of shots, most of them have been from pretty far out.
A lot of players would recall Mike Israel completing a play like that against Loyola 2 years ago. An absolute missile to the top corner off a one-time bounce. Practicing with Mike Israel. Just always, wherever you are on the field, he's going to put it right to your foot in the air with some pace. I don't know how he does it, to be honest. I wish I did, so I could do it myself. But Sean Barwick, isolated, able to turn here. Not a lot of numbers coming up with him, except Ben Bender, and I believe that's Cody Angelini coming in first time today. Sean Barwick forces the rushed kick, and oh my. It looks like a bunch of children playing right now, and one man as striker for Gilman. Oh my. Just looking at him standing to senior Nick Long. Looks like Nick Long maybe in middle school is my best guess. As maybe that's the best adjustment to win head balls over Mike Israel. As Mike Israel could jump with his hands in the air, try to get a rebound over the striker's header, and still would not win.
The big man, Roman Hines. Let's see what he can do.
There's a strong challenge here. Floats up to the goalie, showing high pressure. Not much to do there, except prevent him from putting the ball at his feet. Potential for Roman to use his head this time. And he's causing havoc whether he knows it or not. As it's like a monster running at you with the height.
Definitely when he comes on, the intimidation factor is larger than I think anyone I've ever seen.
I don't know how you stay composed on the back line with him.
some of the best soccer players in the world, very small people. You don't really see that much size, and definitely can be effective.
I know Calvert Hall would not want to give up a corner right now. It'd be like playing three flies with your dad when you're like 6. Instead, they're going to give up a throw. He's not going to play it right into the box. It's a bad throw. You don't see those often anymore. It's going to be a free kick, actually. Sorry. They should be playing it short here. They do. Gilman's back in the game for Will Damsgaard. There's a nifty move. Leads Roman to... Nick Long. Gilman just going to keep it here. They're going to play into Roman one time. Not a big deal for Andy as Andrew Levis is going to push the line up.
Kind of reminds me of watching Taco fall for UCF.
It's a great player comparison. If you recall when he was on his knees, I remember that game. Size of the North Carolina point guard. It's kind of like Nick Long right now. And he wants some help here with the throw-in. He eventually gets it with Ben Bender. He's forced to play long to no one. Switch of the field. I think that's Pay Medora also came in. Tyler Flynn warming up on the bench, I believe. Getting some last stretches in. As Gilman advances up the field. Riley Organ out wide. Medora. Decent ball in with his left. Organ takes it himself, eventually finds Medora. Be awesome to get a cross off here. Down a man in that corner, but he finds Benny. Benny can get off his left foot. He's got a half step. Why not pull it? And he can't quite find it there. He's slow to get up, but not a real worry for Calvert Hall. Cody Angelini gets active for the first couple times today. Andy Chris has space. Can he just take him? Yes, he does. No way he was about to crank that. Last thing I would expect Andy Chris to do with that is crank it from 45. And he wins the throw.
Nice play there from Chris, trying to get this Calvert Hall student session up into this game. Mostly quiet, not really much to cheer for.
Big fan base for Andy Chris here. The whole fam ready to watch and clap as he makes a big play there. What was slept on here is the play by the ball boy to get that to Andy Chris right away, just in case they had an opportunity to counter, get a quick one off. That's a game-changing type of plays Calvert Hall needs, is the ball boy to get it in nice and swiftly. So may go unsaid, not this time.
I think the ball boy has created more offense than this Gilman midfield so far today. They had to start waking up with just around 15 minutes to go.
Doesn't seem like there's 15 minutes to go. It's long or short, sorry. Seems like a short time because there's not a lot of events going on. Cody Angelini keeps it. Handball, we'll take that. No way they...
Maybe he was trying to give the ball boy a bit of a rest there by keeping it in.
Oh, what a generous play by Gilman.
Maybe trying to pay back Luke for giving the ball to their goalie earlier.
That is a strat, though. When you get fouled, could be a questionable fall, go either way, call or no call. Just grab the ball with your hands. So if it's a force to stop play, the ref's rarely going to call a handball on you because you just fell on it. So if you grab the ball with the hands, kind of forces a stoppage in play, ref's forced to blow the call, as Gilman did so there. Medora wants it for himself. Nick Long gets up the field as a center back. Be a shame if a turnover happened here. James Garfing not really sliding in yet, but he does. Goal. Block shot there. Leads to a clean save. Threatening opportunity though. Really stay composed. All three people in the box there. Nice sort of triangle. Benny at the top of the triangle. Tyler Flynn in for the first time today. Dribbles like 6 guys, but can't connect on the pass between 2 defenders.
And the technical skill of these freshmen really just blows my mind. They'll be really good when they grow.
Already are. Just waiting on this. Oh my God. So as we're talking about some technical skill, the turnover almost leads to a goal as it just crosses in between the 6. If it was anybody's ball there. Coach does not seem happy with the uncapitalized opportunity there. So Levis is going to play one back into the midfield, hopefully to the head of Ben Bender and Mike Israel. Looks like this one go to Bender. He's got Peyton Medora. Lets it run onto himself. Blocked. Andy Chris going to close it down. It's going to be a sharp. Somehow it turns into a farther ball than it wouldn't even been played, but probably could have figured that out between Levis and Nick Long a little better as Levis wanted it. Nick Long thought he had it, then eventually clears it out. Goal coach for Gilman has more saves than Andrew Levis today, as he saves that one from going on to Goucher.
That was a fine catch.
Another one in the air. Mike Gisrell's head has to hurt by now. Mike wants some more help in the midfield. Probably because his cranium is not feeling too hot. Andy Chris went down with a head injury last practice. You don't see him go down early or often. But he had a nice little red bruise on his head to match his red hair. Looked really cute. But he's still playing without the concussion. Nick Long switches fields to Levis. It eventually plays Long. Long plays Long. And doesn't really seem like it now. There's 10 minutes left. Both sides kind of getting complacent right now. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of energy just from the box. But a goal here, I'm sure the intensity of this game would just shoot up right away. It's an opportunity for the Gilman attack, and he's broken up by Nick Long. Oh.
That's Gisrell down.
Hopefully it's just a cramp, nothing serious. Taking some time to limp off. Chris Link's checking in for him with 11 minutes left.
And I wouldn't call them boisterous, but I'd say at least audible from the Gilman supporters over there trying to get their team back into this game.
Clock stops here. Center backs and goalie try to sort things out. Others just getting water, others just catching their breath. So Chris Link goes back to talk to Coach and Benny one more time before the start. Liam Gilman, not sure where he's playing right now. I think he's going to go back to right back. Chris Link's going to fill in the CDM role. So a little clock miscommunication between the ref. Apparently could not see on the scoreboard that it's at 11:26. Mr. Baker does well to clear that up for him. Andy Chris, they try to float it over his head. No chance for that. Link put in a situation where he has to go for a tackle. Switchfield's quick. Calvert 6 defenders in for Gilman's 5. Gilman isolated. Not much attack here. Slow 1v1. And Gilman breezes. Oh my God, what? It's a soft call for a game like this right now.
This is where you would want to see Roman in. I'm kind of surprised he's back on the bench.
If you look at Roman right now, his teammate number 2 at his shin guards. Easy to spot out. As not a lot of height now for Gilman. Good ball in though, so it gives him a chance. Center fielder Andy Chris cleans that up. He wants the offsides, he doesn't get it, ball back in. Quickly intercepted by James. James Garfin clears it up. Peyton Medore is gonna put the effort to get there, but can't. What a pass by Lil Zincan to get this game flowing quick. Every time I say what a pass. That's Wade right there, future Cardinal. Can't wait to see him on the pitch soon. And he gets just enough of that to put it out of play. So 1/8 of the game left here unless we go to extra minutes. And some of the Gilman fans a little disappointed in Wade's reaction time there. I'm sure, certainly not. It's a water break. Benny cleans it up, but takes maybe 1 or 2 more touches than he should have. Energy kind of shifting in Gilman's direction here. Bouncing around the box, Cody does well to clear it. Nick Long prevented the ball from being a threat on the front post, not let it into a dangerous zone. That's floated in over James Garfink. Oh my gosh! James Garfink gets caught off guard, floated over him. No one saw that one coming. That was number 9, Jack Stuzen.
It's been the target man today for Gilman. That's his first really big chance, and all
that could have shifted the tides of this game really quick.
I think all that waiting for his chance to come kind of built up the nerves and put it wide there.
It's always good for 2 center backs to develop some chemistry where if one gets caught off guard, the other one's there. As Nick Long demonstrates that for James. James Garfink's repeated the favor for Nick Long several times this season. Oh, that's a good flick on. He's got Benny wide open. Ooh. Ah. Thumbs up from Ben Bender as he tracks back. Cody Angelini, good run in to create a chance. It seems like the clock rushed to the final 10 minutes, and the last 2 minutes have taken as long as the last 80.
I think the clock's even getting a little bit bored at this one.
Stuzen again. And he does well to keep that corner kick. Still no Roman for this one. Johnny goes to take a quick corner. He seems in quite a rush for 7-11 on the clock. This Calvert now pulls the Gilman strut and brings everyone back for the corner kick. Short one. Ben Bender has no business with that one. 3 people in the jump ball. Stuzen comes down with it. Good ball in, threatening Gilman. What a plays on over though. And that is Chase Spurrier, the freshman left back, with a weird header to tie this game. Gilman saved one off the line, but not a lot of effort to get out of there from Calvin Hall. And just like that, like I said, one goal changes the aspect of this game. And now there's 6 minutes left. Same situation. Closing out game for Calvin Hall has been a rough one. Just conceded 6. No, excuse me. Two in the last one. 2 in the last one against John Carroll conference game. After having a lead. Calvin Hall's had a lead in a lot of their games. It's been a struggle holding it. Ben Bender can give a quick back. Ben Bender! No time to waste!
Back to that corner flag like he did with his winner against Appoquinimink, hoping that this one holds here.
I didn't even think the score, you didn't even have time to look at the scoreboard. That was so fast.
14 seconds separating the 2 goals, and after so much nothing, a lot of something here.
Gilman has no idea what just hit them. As we wait, first 3 minutes, we wait 70 more to get another one, and just like that, goals are racking up.
And they say you're most vulnerable just after you concede, and clearly that's the case for Gilman.
Perfect demonstration there. As it seemed like Gilman was already looking at overtime, and they didn't realize that they still had 14 seconds left till they had a trailing game again. So now it's up to Calvert Hall to keep this clean. It reminds me of Eastern Tech first game of the season last year, when like 3-4 goals were scored in the last 20 minutes. Just a back and forth battle that time. So now we're sub 6. And a large stoppage. Ball boy. Oh, Wyatt never be seen. Don't know where he went. Then he launches that one in the air.
But I've spotted him, he's running down the ball way past the goal.
A lot of bounces in the air. DP comes almost down with it. Nick Long flicks it. It's going to be a corner kick. That's how they scored the last goal. Off of not a direct set piece, but off that possession. It would be wild to see 3 goals in, 2 minutes?
Spurrier behind everyone there. Maybe got a running start here.
Threatening ball in. Link does well. Gilman closes down well as well. Well.
Under 5 minutes.
Tells him to stay left back as Andy fills in the role of right marking back. Another flick on. Nick Long eventually clears that one out. Not too far. Hopefully no one was there to catch the back end of Gilman's launch. That is where student sections are normally. Gilman not packing one this time. So another corner. Intensity of this game finally picking up. It only took the entire game. But here we are. Voices on the field getting louder. Urgency from both teams. Coach is getting into it. Johnny Mellencamp plays in far ball. James Garfink fell. Luckily his man couldn't capitalize. Freshman Chase Spurrier switches up, whips the ball in. It's going to Johnny. Psych. Andy Christ doesn't let it get there. So 4 minutes. It's a fraction of the game, but it's going to feel long for Calvert Hall. As they scored around 4 minutes left in the Appoquinimink game to take a late lead there too. Big win for Calvert Hall this would be. James and the attacker hit the dirt. Stuzen. Willie Andrews comes from CDM to fill in the center back role that was left void there. Team defending. Doing pretty solid other than the one mistake that led to the Gilman goal. So Mellencamp, a lot of corners he's playing in. Stuzen gets a good look at it. It's perfect placement. Levis had to call away there. Didn't have time to go out and get that himself, so one over the bar. I'm sure he's not in any rush to put this one back in play. You would think he plays basketball with how many times he bounced to going to set that one up. But unfortunately, he is not too hot at that sport. He sticks to soccer. And Sean has an opportunity to hold it up and switch fields here, which would be huge for the Cardinals. Benny has space. He has Will Andrews. He's not going to take him, a little heavy ball for Sean, but no worries. Gilman goes back to the right back spot and gets the ball there. One time, leads to a Calvert Hall throw-in. You couldn't ask for a better response right there for Calvert Hall. Just to switch field. That's all you really need in these types of situations, is stay composed. It's the same soccer. It's the same game. Even when you're up one, down one, it's the same sport. It's not like there's a reason for you to be in your own zone so often. As Bender goes for a rainbow flick. It's going to be a flat foul. Urgency now from Gilman as he decides to run over the ball and waste a couple more seconds.
Cannon again from Maddox. And again one in the air by Calvert Hall.
Sean should use that space. He's got TP running to the corner with 90 ticks left on the clock. Now they're just holding it up here. Smart soccer. Smart to keep it, but they try to force one to the 18. Link takes a while on that one, draws the foul though. And not who of Johnny to play that one long, just a couple more seconds. Allows for Gilman to cook off the clock. Benny wide open on the wing. And that's Gilman actually. 60 seconds left.
Link taking some time fixing his socks before playing this
So
one.
he plays Andy Chris, who should play it long here if he wants to play safe. Oh, it's weird. It's weird. But cleaned up well by Levis. It's weird from the start to play negative there. But Link makes up with it for a firm header to Sean Barwick. If we can get a touch in the negative direction for Gilman, should wrap things up here with 26 seconds, and that's exactly what Bender's going to do. Cannot lose it here, though. It's the one thing. If you just get it up the field, which Gilman does well, 16 seconds left, I would be absolutely amazed if Gilman can get the ball in 10 seconds into the back of the net.
That one goes out, and Calvert Hall can take the time here.
As high fives go around, people start walking in the huddle. It's a big win for the Cardinals as they advance to 3-1-1 in the year, 10 points, 4-1-1 in the overall, out of conference including. Gilman's going to drop in the table from here with MSJ and McDonough right on their tails. Not expecting a game like this, to say the least. Slow tempo, not a lot of opportunities for the big hunk of the game. But that's it for this one. We'll be back next week.